Hello everybody, Brian Tulsa here, and I am back in Grove, Oklahoma, and I'm walking along the same trail that I showed you last time in the winter that leads to the pet cemetery that way, and thought I would do a little walk and talk here. So, Grove, Oklahoma. It's a small town. It's in the country. It has, its share of secrets and mysteries, as many towns do. One of those I learned about some time ago. It was a disappearance, a mysterious disappearance of a person named Aubrey Dameron. Aubrey grew up here. She graduated from Grove High School. I believe the year was 2012. And she had moved away some time ago, but returned. She spent time with her mom and her stepdad. She was closer to her aunt and uncle. And I guess a couple of unique things about Aubrey is, well, she was Native. She was Native American. She was Cherokee, as many people in this area are. There's a lot of Native American ancestry here. In fact, if your family has been in this area for any length of time, somewhere in your family tree you have probably some tribal ancestry, whether you know about it or not. So looks like it was a stone deer. Another thing about Aubrey is that she was a person that's often identified as a two-spirit person. And for the purposes of our discussion, she was a trans woman. She allegedly disappeared one night, about 3 a.m. According to the family that lived with her, she went off to see a friend at about 3 a.m. Which friend? No idea. But she was never seen or heard from again. The aunt and uncle with whom she was closer didn't find out that she was missing for a couple days. They reported this to the local authorities. The local authorities were less than concerned. The response was that she probably just ran off. She probably went off on her own. And her disappearance is only due to her high-risk lifestyle. And the feeling of the family is that, frankly, the local authorities didn't care. Why wouldn't they care? That was in 2019. She disappeared. Disappeared one night, and I thought that was the end of the story. I hadn't heard any updates, and I was curious about it because, we're out here in Grove, the town from which she disappeared. I was looking for updates on the case. Any indication that she had left on her own? Had she returned? Had she contacted the family? And I found, by looking it up, that last year, almost a year ago from the time you're seeing this, or the time I'm uploading it, her remains were found in the area of Pitcher, Oklahoma. Now, I've done a video from Pitcher, Oklahoma, and if you've seen that video, you know what that means. Pitcher is a ghost town. Pitcher is a town that was shut down by the federal Superfund, still with lots of leaves. I'm not going to go crunching around there. There's that creepy abandoned cabin. I'm not going to go crunching around there either, but yeah, maybe sometime I'll check it out, but not today. Instead, I'm going to walk back up that way Her remains were found and positively identified. This happened not because the local authorities actually started to care, allegedly in my opinion, but because the Supreme Court made their ruling in the McGirt case that determined that large parts of northeastern Oklahoma were actually still Native American territory. Really interesting Supreme Court decision, which maybe I'll go into sometime. But what they did is it changed the jurisdiction. Instead of the local authorities being the investigating body, it was the tribal authority. The tribe out in the area of Pitcher and Miami, in that area, is Quapaw, and the Quapaw investigative team actually found her remains. Her remains were reported by some people that were out there hiking or maybe fishing. I think I heard somewhere that they were fishing. You shouldn't eat anything that you catch in any of those ponds. It's all toxic. Don't go fishing there. She's had an autopsy, and I would like to report to you how Aubrey died. I would like to tell you about the circumstances of her disappearance, her death, and her recovery in the area of Pitcher, in the ghost town. But I can't, because nobody knows. Or at least anybody who does know isn't talking. The authorities have not released any results from the autopsy. The authorities have not released any results from the investigation. She had a cell phone with her. It did ping near her home at about the time she supposedly went missing. Well, what happened to it? I wish I could tell you. I don't know. Neither does her family. The family resorted to hiring a private investigator to look into the case and find out what happened to it. And as private investigators do, they contact local law enforcement so they can get information on what they've done so far. And what the private investigator has been met with is indifference. No worse than indifference. Allegedly, in my opinion. They've been met with prejudice. They needed to make it known that they would not identify her by her chosen name and pronouns. Still, the impression that the family and the investigator are getting is that the local authorities don't care. I know it seems like I'm way out in the woods, but like there is a road a little bit that way. That's how we get to the place. And I've actually kind of walked all the way up and down this trail almost, so I guess I'll walk back this way. Was Aubrey Dameron murdered? Did she have an accident? Slip and fall? Did she take her own life? Was it some kind of unfortunate misadventure? I don't know. And neither do you. And neither does her family. It is eerie to me that I did a video from Pitcher a few years ago, and very likely, not far away, was Aubrey, waiting to be found. There are some things that we can say are likely not true about this particular mystery. A few possibilities we can eliminate. First of all, she didn't walk. The place she was found is at least about a 45-minute drive away. She didn't walk there. And she didn't have a car. Was she there when she died, or was she transported there later? I don't know. But she didn't just end up there by accident. The surrounding small towns around Pitcher that are ghost towns now They are places where people can be disposed of, where they're not likely to be found again. Sounds like it could be foul play, in my opinion, allegedly. It's been almost a year since her body was found. I would not have known about it, even though I know about the case. I would not have found out that her body was found if I hadn't gone checking for it. Her story has been underreported, and even though I spend a significant amount of time in Grove and I interact with members of the local community, I had not heard any updates. It is only by going out and seeking those updates that I found out anything. This is one of the reasons why I don't have any romantic notions. I don't romanticize country and rural life. I have no idyllic visions about small towns. I don't find them wholesome and charming. I've spent too much time in small towns, and I've spent too much time in the country to believe that. I know better. These rural areas with some wholesome, down-home country values, they have often a sinister side to them. It's much darker than it seems on the surface. And to me, that's what Aubrey Dameron's case is. A case where a human being disappeared. And the people who were charged with protecting their community didn't care, allegedly, in my opinion. Even now, very little is said about it. Even now, it seems like everyone wants to forget about this. Everybody seems to want to forget that it happened. Everyone seems to want to forget that she existed, and everyone wants to act like she didn't matter. But she does matter. She did matter. She matters now. She matters to me. She mattered to her family. And her family's not going to forget. Someone in this community, we know not who, but someone who was the last person to see her alive, that person won't forget. I won't forget. And now, neither will you.